Hello, my name's Matt, and I'm an ex-smoker and vapor of 7 years. This is how you quit nicotine. For the record, this isn't medical advice. This is advice from an ex-smoker, vapor, and nicotine user of all types. Step 1, be honest with yourself. Do you really want to quit nicotine? Is a loved one pushing you to quit? The fact is you're not going to be able to quit unless you want to quit. The fact is you might go a long distance if somebody's pushing you to do this, but if you yourself don't want to do it, you will eventually crumble and go back to it. Step 2, make a plan. If you can just pick up nicotine, get addicted, and then drop it like it was nothing, then you really weren't addicted in the first place. Quitting nicotine can be a psychological battle at points, and to get through it, you need a plan. First of all, you gotta know how you're gonna quit. You could go cold turkey, which is pretty simple. You just stop. But at the same time, you're going to pick up full withdrawals extremely quickly. They're going to be extremely challenging. And so you got to be prepared for that. Or you can wean off. Personally, I had to wean off. I started off with a pack of cigarettes every day, and then I went to vaping, and then nicotine replacement therapy. And eventually, once I got to the gum, it was basically like nothing. So it was probably the easiest way to quit. But once you make that plan, you need to go on step 3, which is following through. Kind of a side point with every step here on out is being focused with it. Fact is, it's probably always going to be worse or better than you think it is going to be. If it ends up being really hard and you're really struggling with the cravings, you got to be focused and follow through and keep quitting. And if you think it's too easy, and you just think you can kind of maybe go back to it and then just keep going, then you're also going to get distracted. Fact is, no matter if it's easy or hard, you need to be focused and you need to follow through with quitting. Like any nicotine addict though, I've had stumbles, setbacks, and relapses. I've completely caved in and bought a pack or smoked a cigarette, but just to get rid of the nicotine cravings. Sometimes I've even tricked myself into thinking, oh, I'll just have this cigar and it'll be nothing more than that. And after that, I'll go right back. Even with nicotine replacement therapy, I bought lozenges thinking, well, I kind of deserve this. It's not that bad anyway. Fact is, stumbles and setbacks happen at any point. What you can do is make sure those stumbles and setbacks aren't as bad as your worst point. If you used to smoke cigarettes and you're really struggling and want that smoke, getting a vape is probably not that bad of an option. And if you're really jonesing for that nicotine hit from a vape, maybe just go get some Nicorette lozenges or a patch. Find the smartest way to get back on nicotine so you can get right back off it without too much effort is probably the best way you can do it. Fact is, stumbles and setbacks always happen. Forgive yourself and keep moving forward. Now, personally, this is the hardest step. I've made a video previously about quitting smoking and vaping. Fact is, I hadn't done this step yet, which is letting it go. Psychologically, and maybe even literally sometimes, nicotine is your friend. And truly, the effects of it aren't as hard as alcohol, weed, or any other hard drug. It's light. It's been your friend. It's been your break buddy for a lot of years. So letting go of nicotine is hard. But if you want to quit, you gotta let it go. You gotta let go of it, not only as the substance that you're addicted to, but as your friend. At this point, you really might want to consider getting some gum, some mints, just anything to keep yourself busy, because at some point you're going to want nicotine again. And just throwing a mint or a piece of gum in can definitely help. To be honest, this is going to take a lot of focus on the addict's point, so be forgiving for a little while. If food ends up being your big comfort, gain a few pounds, it's okay. Ultimately, you're going to see better health benefits. Finally, don't keep track of the amount of time you've spent without nicotine. The reason why a lot of us quit nicotine is to gain some mental clarity back and no longer be a smoker, vapor, or nicotine addict. If you're keeping track of how many days you've gone without nicotine, you're ultimately just planning for your biggest relapse. I did this just last year. I went 6 weeks and I counted 6 weeks. And at the end of the 6 weeks, I thought I deserved some reward, and of course that was nicotine, of which I continued my nicotine addiction for another whole year. Trust me, just don't keep track. Just once you quit, keep moving forward. Eventually, it'll just become a fog. And eventually, in that fog, you will realize that nicotine was not worth any of the emotional, financial, or relational ruins it caused you. It's just a stupid drug that we carried around because we thought we needed it. Like I said, this isn't medical advice. This is an ex-nicotine addict's advice. If you are currently a nicotine addict, I would very much consider quitting. If you're not a nicotine addict, then I really don't know why you watched this video. And if you're an ex-smoker, vapor, or overall nicotine addict, just leave your story in the comments below. These stories can often be inspiring, and when I personally was quitting, I read lots of them. Consider this another place where you can leave them. Quitting nicotine is often a personal journey, and a person might need to pull from different stories to finally quit themselves. Well, ultimately, that's all I got. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope this helps. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.